That's the stream deck.
Quit playing.
And I'm vlogging it too. Gas showed up. What's happening?
Yeah.
Someone doesn't sound too
Yes.
sure about that.
He's so mad.
About to drive a car at 4:30. What it do?
What's going on?
Welcome back to the Any and Everything podcast. I'm your boy Ralph. I'm here with Mark. Don't know what we're gonna do with the rest of the squad. They may be pulling up, they may not be pulling up. I think my guy Moni Mon is having some audio issues. Once he gets all that fixed, he'll pop back in. Zoe's out with the family, and Vizzle's out in Florida. So you got us right now.
That's
The
it.
rest may join later. But with all that being said, yo, bro, how was your week, man?
It was straight, man. It was straight, man. I picked up a little bit more hours today. Well, last week, so it was straight, man. It's like you just on switch and you just working. That's all it is. You just gotta make what you can when you can and just take it home, bro.
Bro,
Period.
like you said, it's an on switch, man.
It's on switch, bro.
What I'm trying to find though is the off switch. Because I feel like that shit don't exist.
All switches when you get in that lottery, man.
All right, can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
What's going on?
Oh my goodness, bro. That the headset kept cutting off.
Oh,
And I'm like, oh my, so I think it's dead, so I got it plugged up.
oh,
It happens. It happens.
it happens. It happens to the best.
Money Mons, you jumped in, man. We asking, how was your week, man?
Oh, it was cool, man. I had a busy week. Leading from last week because I wasn't on last week. Did it cut off?
No, you're good.
Oh, okay. It did a bing in my ear. The son had prom last week, so I was there for that. And then this week was his graduation. On top of that, they had field day at my middle son's school, and then the next day they had fun day. So that's kind of been my whole week. I start a new job next week.
Good. Congrats.
What's up?
What I'm talking about.
And you
dang.
went out.
It went out.
Dang.
Yeah, it went out. It went out. I'm sorry. It went out. It went out.
Hey, he just straight dropped out in the middle of talking too. So for those that don't know, his son graduated from high school, moving on to the next chapter.
That's a big jump too, man.
That's a massive jump. That's a major change, bro.
That's when life starts.
It blows my mind, you know what I'm saying? I remember when, the boy was born. Doesn't seem like it was that long ago, man. Time flies time flies and it waits for nobody. So
yeah.
I'll jump into my week. My week's been pretty straightforward, I guess. Been spending the last couple of days trying to get the house and everything prepared. I'm gonna be at the crib taking care of the wife after her surgery. She's going into surgery next week, this upcoming week, Thursday.
Okay.
Right now, her and Jazz are out. She's trying to spend some time with her before she's kind of stuck for a while. As far as me, man, working on the crib, getting the house together. Looking to do some built-ins as far as some shelving, things like that. Just a whole lot of
on that house, bro. You've been going hard on that house,
bro. I'm trying to do a whole lot of adulting, man. Eventually, people tell you, it never ends, right? And I'm like, nah, I'm almost done. And they're right. Every time I'm like, I'm almost done. I'm like, I got one more thing.
It never stops, bro.
One more thing.
Never stops.
Never stops, bro. Never stops. But once again, that's adulting for you. You know what I'm saying? It's always something. It's always something. But I want to go ahead and get into the topic. For those that was with us last week, we talked about a little bit of everything. We talked about entertainment, right? Which kind of leads into this. And if you give me a second, I'll show you how we got into it. What's going on, Alicia?
Going on.
So last week we talked about Diddy, and the downward spiral he hit. And when I tell you hit a downward spiral, bro, there's a something on Roku about a special called The Downfall of Diddy.
Oh yes, it's on Tubi. It's on Tubi.
Is it Tubi? It's like, bro, I feel like that happened. I'm not gonna say it's way too premature, but I mean, I feel like it happened quick.
It did. They should have waited because this is before the video that had failed. So they should have waited. TMZ just couldn't wait. They pushed it. It's interesting, but like I said, it's unfortunate because it's so much that they put out there that they should have just waited to add on to everything.
They add on to it.
So you're just watching like, damn, I kind of knew this stuff, but it's still interesting to watch. It's very interesting to watch.
Very true. Well, I haven't watched it yet, but like I said, this kind of gets us into today's topic. Do you think we as a culture move forward or backwards? The reason why I say that is because in the last episode we talked about how we used to want to be the entertainers, right? We watched the videos, they got the money, they got the cars, got the girls, and all we can envision is like, damn, if we had that amount of money, life would be perfect. You know what I'm saying? That's the goal we want. That's where we want to be. That's when you know we won. But then years later, you find out what they did along the way to get to where we thought we wanted to be. It's like, yo, I wanted to be where he was in the video. not the shit he did on the way.
I don't want to hang nobody on no balcony window.
I didn't want to be red, bro. My office hours is 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? And the man, I don't know, bro. And to me, we've made a lot of strides forward, man. Especially from when we grew up. You know, you got to think when we were growing up, we never thought we'd see a black president. We got that. We knew Oprah was rich, but then, you know, they talked about her hitting billions. And I'm like, well, she did that. You got a power couple in entertainment. You got Jigga and Beyonce. Absolutely. You know, meccas, man. You know what I'm saying? That a lot of strides forward. But unfortunately, I think we have gone in reverse. But I don't think we went into reverse knowing what the future was going to hold. A lot of these things we did, or not say, let me back the fuck up. Not we did, that they did and people have done.
That has happened.
That has happened for people to become famous.
There we go.
Yeah, we hear you.
Man, I had to switch headsets, man, so I don't know what was going on. So mad.
Well, like I was saying, all the moves that we made to get to that point, or they made to get to that point, no one knew that in the future they was going to get hit with the BS. Yeah. Unfortunately, I think we went in reverse due to social media. It started off as a step forward, great way to communicate, get in touch with friends, stay in touch, and then it grew into something different. And that's when we started to go in reverse, because we used to want to be the people in the videos, right? And then it became we want to be the people in Instagram and on Facebook and TikTok. And then once we realize who they are, it's like, well, shit, I don't want to do that. I kind of want to do that, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it like that.
I don't want to do it like that.
But then the question is, can you get to that point without doing some of the shit that they did? I'm pretty sure you could, but how do you know you're making a good decision in the bad? Right? At what point do you feel you are untouchable, unreachable? I've got so much money they can't do nothing to me. There's only one person so far that I feel cannot be touched, regardless.
And that's Jay-Z.
No, not Jay-Z. Not Jay-Z, man. He ain't even a part of our team, man. It's Captain Orange. I don't think Donald Trump can be touched, bro. Like the man. Okay, listen. I know so many people that celebrated the fact that he got convicted, right? He got convicted, all the charges, the whole nine.
34
Right.
charges, I think.
The man got convicted, and his percentage went up for presidency.
80%. Yeah, 80%.
He went up after the conviction. It was
He
more
did.
people like, oh, he got caught. Hell yeah.
It was a lady that posted. She said, "Oh wow, now she said it. Oh wow, now my president has street cred." And I said, "Jesus Christ, are you kidding me?"
That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all don't understand. Like, everybody's
I know.
focused a lot of attention on trying to get him to not be able to run, and nothing has stopped this man. We've never had a president that's been convicted.
He broke the record. He broke the record on that one, brother.
Wait, he's been convicted, and numbers are going through the roof. It's almost like him getting convicted was like, oh, now he cool with us.
And now let me tell you this too. This is something, and it's funny because my little sister, well, Amber said it. It was a comment, and it really put me in a different mindset last night. Like I was like on some quiet shit for like 30 minutes straight after she told me this. It's one of her friends. I won't say any names. She had made a post, and I wish Amber was watching this right now so she can type it verbatim when she said. But in the post, she said that, you know, once we find, and this is literally quote, once we find out, this is her post. She is Caucasian, I believe. So once we find out some bad news, we don't loot, we don't destroy things, we don't do anything bad to our community. What we do is we raise $50-something million and get him where he has to go. We are not the same. And it was the exact, that's word for word what she said. And it put a really bad, like, I don't know. It was something about the comment that just said, Jesus, that I don't.
Here's the thing.
Tell
She's
me,
not correct, but she's not wrong either.
Okay.
They will follow if they have a call. And I'm not gonna say if a certain group of people have something that they believe in so strong, they will do whatever it takes to get to that point.
Okay.
They see a lot of times in their eyes what's the bigger picture, right? And the bigger picture to them is no matter what, he's got to be in office. We got to get Biden out of there, right? Also, the context is different. I guarantee you she's willing to say they're not the same because he wasn't killed or unalived. Okay?
Now,
because a lot of times, if it turns into a riot or loot, it's because someone got off for a murder.
Now, one thing I did want to say, because this is probably the same people who thought it was all right to storm the White House, because let's not forget about that. So then you got to look at the case like, I think it's kind of
yeah. Once
see,
again, but that goes back
to
it's different. It's different in the context though, because they stormed the White House because once again, they think that their vision, their future vision, is so important they're willing to do whatever. On the flip side, our vision is, oh, you don't want to listen, we'll make you listen. Because clearly you don't listen to reason, so we need to act a fool in order for you to listen.
Okay.
But on the other flip side,
I'm listening.
Let's not forget, y'all don't loot or riot. If you look in the videos, yeah, it was a lot of us, but it was also a lot of y'all too.
It was a lot of y'all doing it.
And let's not also forget that there was also a 14 to 16-year-old kid out there with an AR shooting people.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're right. We are not the same.
We are not the same. We are not the same.
We may do things a little different.
Yeah. It struck a chord. Like I was like, whoa.
And it as it should. It should. Because that is once again not wrong, but damn sure ain't right either. Because we do tear shit up because motherfuckers won't listen. Y'all tear shit up because you don't get your way. So no, we're not the same.
Okay.
We have reason and purpose.
I like that.
Behind ours. You are spoiled and just think you want it.
I like that. I do like that. I do like that narrative.
If after the show you'd like to drop a name, I'll be glad to put that on her or his page to remind them with pictures and video footage because they had both.
That's very true.
And say, yes, 110%, we are not the same.
We're not the same.
We also know better. We know what we can tear up. We know what we're not going to do. Y'all got pepper sprayed and kicked out and arrested. We'd have been shot.
We get killed. We get killed
on sight. So, yes, once again, have we gone in reverse in the culture? Absolutely. Because where before we did the Million Man March and made strides forward, now we're back to the beginning of looting and rioting where they were out here using all means necessary to stop us. Back then it was water hose. Now it's just straight bullets.
Straight bullets. Straight bullets.
And it's because of the choices that we make.
And it's funny because this can go so wide in entertainment. Matter of fact, one thing that actually also struck a chord in me that actually Ralph mentioned, it was behind the scenes when we got done with the last episode. We was talking about how entertainment has changed as far as like black actors, actresses, things of that nature. And it was actually a fact that he threw out there that I was like, wow, I didn't know that. But back in the days, all we could actually get was the thugs, the street criminals, blah, blah, blah. And the very interesting fact that Ralph mentioned was Chris Rock and what is it? What's the name of the movie? Pookie.
Oh, with New Jack City, I want to say.
New Jack City. Okay, that role, he had no choice but to take it. It was like that was the only role presented to him was to be the crackhead. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, and they gave him that. And I was like, damn, that is interesting because and now we are in talks of Idris Elba being the next 007. So you got to see that range of where we started to how we're going and the entertainment as far as movies go, period. You can imagine back in the days, we were always the pimps. They were the hoes. We had the women that had to always be a hoe. The black woman with the afro, even though she fought crime, she was a hoe. Like you had to think about it.
And she was.
And it was fucked up, but
and she was a bad motherfucker too.
And that's there you go.
She was a bad motherfucker. But she had to be a hoe. And I'm like, but
I know I had a lot of audio issues. So I know I had a lot of audio issues, and I was kind of setting up our whole share and poll and all that stuff as y'all was talking.
Come on, Carlos.
So what part are you guys on? Because I was kind of in and out when you guys were talking.
We're just talking in vast.
We're talking the vast majority of the culture being the same and different in the same sentence. I mean, some things we've moved forward, some things we've moved back, some things we are where we are because that's the choices we made.
Right.
Now, I heard y'all talk about Captain Orange about how he can't be convicted, right?
No, he can't be touched. He can't be touched. Not convicted. He's been convicted.
He's been
convicted. But he's still running for president.
34 times.
Well, that's because there's no laws on if you're convicted, you can't run or not. He can actually run as president in jail if he wanted to, if he were to get sentenced.
But my point is that he got convicted and then went up more points. If Obama got convicted, there would be no extra points.
Matter of fact,
the only points he would get would be from us.
Yeah, he almost didn't get it because he didn't have a birth certificate, my G. Like, they wanted to throw him out of the campaign because he didn't want to show the birth certificate. So you got to look at these pros and cons, bro.
Well, you got to look at the history of this country, right? You got to look at how we was built, and we already know that. It was built on, racism and slaves and all that stuff. And secondly, the system has yet to kind of catch up to who we are and what we are, and it's always going to be a divide and a difference because now in these days, people are taught, and this kind of leans onto the subject, they're kind of taught racism without knowing it being racist. For an example, when I was doing airbag recall in my previous job, the guy said something offensive, but because of what he was taught, he didn't know it was that offensive. So I was doing airbag recalls, and I put up to this guy's house, and we go to people's homes for the people that can't make it to the dealer. So I go to their house, I do the repair. So, and what's crazy is I had a couple of Ford recall guys with me from corporate, and they were very proud of how I handled the situation, but I wanted to kill the guy. I'm gonna just be honest with you. So the corporate guys found it. They say, hey, pull over to that house. Like, there's a Mustang there. Let's see if he wants to get a recall done. I'm like, sure. Of course, it was a white gentleman or a Caucasian gentleman, however y'all don't want nobody to get offended. And then he comes outside. He was like, "Yes, I can't make it to the dealer. Thank you so very much." So I'm down in the dash and I'm working on the vehicle, and the guy goes, "I think he's a Democrat," and I'm listening to him. Right? He just out of nowhere, and I'm like, "Here we go," because I already know what I'm about to get myself into. Right? I already know where this is going. So then they were having a talk, and he's trying to be cool with them, but you can tell the four guys are completely awkward, right? And I finally finished his pair. The guy was nice because you could be nice and horrible at the same time. I mean, nobody's perfect, right? It's not the way God made us, and it's just one of those things where it's like he was like, "Thank you very much, I really appreciate it, man." And then the first question he asked me was, "Who did you vote for? If you don't mind me asking."
Yeah,
I
that's
said, "Joe
not.
Biden." I was like, "You must don't watch the news." Yeah, I watch the
Yeah,
news. Well, what do
that's
you
a,
watch? That MSNBC stuff? I said, well, yeah, I watch that. I watch CNN. I watch Fox. I watch everything. You watch Fox? Yeah. Well, and you watch MSNBC? Yeah. I've never heard nobody watch both. I said, well, for certain people, I try to look at the other perspective to kind of see how you guys think. I can't base an argument off of one source, right? It doesn't help me when I can't understand somebody's mindset. I don't approve what they do there. It's not my channel of choice. But I mean, and we all walk around people that watch that stuff and everything. And he
right.
goes, well, he was like, well, he said something of, well, why did you vote for him? And I said, because, he can get things accomplished. He's going to tear this country apart. I said, well, look, I said, whether you win or lost, I said, just be happy you got the right to vote. And if you lost, you lost. I said, we lost last time with Hillary, and I just didn't argue with nobody about it. And then he goes, I don't mean to be racist. And then he goes, I have a lot of black friends. So that already is offensive. But he doesn't know that, right? He
No, he
probably grew up that way. He probably stayed in that community where they all thought that was okay until you got somebody like me that come out there and he goes, I'm not trying to be offensive, this and that. And he goes, I think the only reason why people voted for Obama because he was black. And I go, yep. Are you serious? You blah, blah. I say, well, yeah, that's first and foremost because he made history, at the same time. So I don't really care about what you think because it's the same scenario. They're voting for Trump because he's a criminal. You don't hear me arguing with nobody about it. Not because he can help or save the country. You know what I'm saying?
Again, that's a matter of perspective, though, right? We look at him as a criminal. They look at him as the United States savior. He's going to undo everything Biden did. He's going to lower our taxes. He's going to lower the gas prices. This, that, and the third. He's going to drop.
That's what they believe.
But what's crazy is everything is on record and everybody can see that, right? Because all the government information besides the secret stuff is all public information. People can go and watch the last 4 years of Trump and they can see he never came out with an infrastructure bill as he promised. He never built the wall as he promised. He never I forgot what the third thing was.
About that wall, by the way.
You said but what's crazy is studies show that the illegal immigrants that are here are the ones just hopping on flights legally. They're just not going back.
But that's one thing you got to understand, even down to what you're saying.
Hey, Nate, how's it going?
People would choose to ignore certain things to save face. And, like I said, this is the same guy. And I really don't want to make this a political thing, but this is the same guy who has said, if I was to run for president, and this is a real life quote, if I was to run for president, I'll run Republican because they believe anything. They're not smart. They believe anything.
Oh,
this is what Trump has said.
Yeah, and some of the senators have said that.
Yeah, it's weird that that's kind of like his support system. It's the same people he's saying.
Well, here's one thing.
Here's what I don't understand because I don't want to lean on this too much. Here's what I don't understand, and I'll let you finish it. He's not lying. Here's what I don't understand. Usually common sense kick in because that's another gift that God gave us, right? It's one of those things where, okay, they don't like Biden. Right. But inflation's low, not where it should be, but it's kind of equalizing to what everybody else is paying. Not all the way, but the stock market is up. The infrastructure stuff is happening. The push for higher wages and lower prescription costs. All this has happened, and people are really not complaining. They just don't like who's in there. And it's kind of like
Sleepy Joe.
It's kind of like when you go in there, so you want him to go in there and you want him to take away everything. Okay, then the next question should be, well, what is he replacing it with? He never has an answer. Are you gonna throw away the You're gonna throw away Obamacare, right? For like
listen.
30 or 40 million people. What are you gonna replace it with? Because that's how many people's not gonna have insurance.
Listen, man, I don't like politics.
I don't even like talking about this shit.
I don't like
religion and politics.
I don't like our options. I don't like what we're going through. But I also realize I don't think I ever really have. Nobody ever. You can't say somebody's ever did something directly for you.
Yeah, that is true.
They're always doing it for the masses that may not fit into what you think should be done. Right? You go in there, you make the best conscious decision off of what you've heard.
Ain't nobody gonna like it. That's life. Everybody's not gonna like your decision.
And you hope that you made the right choice and you move the fuck on.
That's it.
I don't like it at all. I don't like that any of this stuff happens, but it happens. Right. However, that whole common sense thing, right? The whole common sense thing, that's the part I don't like. I don't like the fact that people don't use common sense when it comes to it. Find something that person said they were going to do and prove that they were going to do it and stick to that. Don't pick it because I like the way that person looks, or I love how orange he is, or I like that he always looks sleepy. You know,
yeah, it's nothing about nothing he didn't accomplish. You never hear that. And now I want to answer this question, right? So no president was able to run for his presidency if he was convicted of any kind of crime. How could this happen? Because there's no laws. There's no laws to hold him back. They've never had a law on it. So that's the only.
Come on, my man Clinton had to step down for a blowjob.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. He didn't have to. He really didn't have to.
He got impeached, though. They did impeach him. They just didn't remove him.
Yeah, they made him. We didn't vote. Okay, I want y'all to realize that we can vote to impeach someone, right? Nobody, I don't think anybody ever voted for that. I think that was just Congress was like, yo, this man out here getting sloppy toppy on the job. And it's not his wife. We can't have it. He's got to go. Plus, he already be smoking weed. So he's not for us.
I mean, one thing I'm going to say, because like I said, when it comes to the topic at hand, I do feel like in some aspects, we have went forward and we have went back on a lot of different aspects. Like I said, it's good to see in the actor limelight of what roles we are presented with, equivalent to what roles we had back then. And then you look at music, and it's funny because I had this conversation with a friend of mine. A lot of people are like, and this is a great conversation. A lot of people said, what's the girl's name? Red?
Sexy Red girl. I can't stand her.
They said Sexy Red is a abomination to the culture. And one of the young guys that I was talking to, he said, you know, Cardi, and it was funny how he said it, because I had to take a seat back and think what he said. He said, Sexy Red is literally just Little Kim, but in this time age. And when he said it, I thought about it. I said, wait a second now, wait, you might have a little point, but I need to hear some of Sexy Red stuff. And I heard it, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. It was nothing, no quality there. It just fell apart. Every song I got to just fell apart. Like I felt like
there's some cold rappers. Like you got Remy Ma, she cold. You got Eve. There's another one who is kind of new. Well, she's not new, but you got Jess Brittany. She's cold. You know,
Nicki Minaj.
Everybody needs to understand. Nicki got
Cardi B is cold. Here's the thing. It all depends on the song you're comparing it to, right? Yes, Little Kim has some extra raunchy songs.
She has some.
Right? That was way out in left field. But it wasn't every single track. That's the difference.
There you go.
Look at who her mentors was, though. That plays a role too.
He got a mentor?
Who? No. Look with Lil Kim, who she was around, Biggie and all those guys. You know.
No, I don't like.
I feel like they're on the same block, but they just got different houses. so I mean, it's still the same street. You go down there, you know what you're gonna get when you ride down there, but it's different houses. But when he said it, he was so confident, like, you know, we're not behind because we're doing the same thing y'all was doing. And I'm like, not technically, brother. Like, I don't mean to rain on your parade. I don't mean to sound like this, but the quality that you're getting and what y'all being preached is not the same thing as what we were getting. Like, I feel like we came from an era where when rappers was first coming out was don't do drugs. And then it turned into I'm your pusher man. And then that turned into
I'm the user.
it turned into I am the user, I'm on everything.
Right.
And it's just like we don't know. Like
and now we're getting the music after they've done it.
Yeah, after they done it. And this is what it is.
I think the thing now is I think the thing now is putting your crams out there for everybody to see.
Now, I saw a video. Now that's something I really wanted to get on.
So
we went back on that, bro. I don't remember Tupac digging no nigga up.
They did an interview. They did an interview with Future, right? Okay. And they said, Future, everybody's wanting to know what you said in this song. His response was, I don't really know. I was so high at the time, I can't remember.
I mean, okay.
This is like a hit song. So when you go to concert, right? Do you mumble? Of course you do. Of course you do, because you're a mumble rapper. But do you mumble your words because you don't know what you said? What happens if the DJ's power go out and it's just your mic? Are you?
And I feel it because now when it comes to that, I do feel like we have went back a little bit musically, but business wise, musically we have not. There's a lot of people that are not trying to get signed. They are doing that shit on their own, brother. Like,
I believe a lot of these shows and these producers are a problem too, because they be still putting these dudes on what is it, Flex Show or whatever. That they know these people can't freestyle, but they give him the camera and the light to try to freestyle. I mean, never forget when
you can look at it in both ways though, because they could be exposing their ass too, bro. Like if I know you're not about
if you're a producer, why would I expose you?
I mean,
he's there for the money. He needs the money. He can have this.
If I'm your producer, right? Why would I?
That's true.
Why would I put you out there like that, knowing that this could cost you record sales?
Well, before we get on that comment though, because I know Mark about to get on it. Yeah. Do you think we are at the end of the age of all the littles? Lil Yachty, Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Pump, Lil Hunter?
Never.
It's not gonna stop.
Never.
The same with at the age of the ISIS. When we was at the age of the ISIS, that little shit ain't going nowhere. We had Ice Cube, Ice T. We had all that shit. So now it's the little thing. Little's gonna be there for a while.
Plus, you gotta realize you talking about we at the end of that era, right?
Right.
There was Little Kim.
Yeah, Little Kim.
That was over 20 years ago, bro.
They ain't going nowhere, bro.
It's not.
No. What I'm saying is these younger.
You're talking about how they
their music, their all that stuff. Because I haven't heard none of them.
The industry always been for young. The industry always been for young, bro. Like,
well, I get that.
The older you get, the harder it is for.
But I thought that whole thing was a phase, bro. And and y'all saying it because I don't listen to that music. Well, it's horrible to me.
Well, you gotta look at it this way, right? Just like what Mark was saying, as we get older, the things that was for us fades away, and it's for the next generation. Perfect example, when I was growing up, my pops was like, Tupac, that's trash music, that's terrible. But Tupac is the GOAT, right? He's one of the greatest rappers of all time to us, but to my dad,
probably like Kool Moe Dee. He probably
right. My dad, it was Kool Moe Dee. He was Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5. Where they over there, don't push me, cause I'm close. we over here like dear mama. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
And now they over here with Sexy Red, hands on your knees. So and you like it it's generational, bro. It's generational.
It's very generational.
Because what's gonna happen 20 years from now, all the stuff that they like now, even if it goes in reverse, because history repeats itself, right? Even if it goes back to where, Kool Moe Dee and Grandmaster Flash Cool J was, they're gonna like, that's just trash.
Yeah, there you go.
And if our parents are still alive, luckily, they were like, yo, I don't know who this new artist is, but that's what I'm talking about. I mean, and I feel like I'm in the middle because I like old school music. Exactly. Hands on your knees. But I feel like I'm in the middle, right? Because I like music like from there's a guy called October London, right? Okay. He's got a real old school feeling to his music.
Right.
Our classmate John Brown, right?
Yeah, he's great.
This music reminds me of the old school R&B we used to listen to. I like that type of stuff, right? So history repeats itself, man.
And
You'll
it's down
have
to like one of the things Nathan said about the sex sales thing.
Yeah,
You got a
yeah,
lot
that's
of
what I was
women
gonna pull up.
that didn't have to. Like, you know, you got Queen Latifah, you had MC Light, you had Roxanne.
you never caught them in
Roxanne.
the thong. You
You
never
had a
caught
lot
them
of
having
these
it.
people. Yeah, you know, they didn't have sex to sell. They just had, I got lyrics, I got bars. You get what I'm saying? Even now, you got female rappers, and it's sad that they're not getting a spotlight because sex sells, which I can agree with you on that aspect. But you do got a lot of artists out there that's not selling shit. They just like, look, you're gonna have to figure it out. My girl, what's her name, Monet? Oh man.
Janae Monáe.
Janelle
man.
Monáe.
I mean, I'm glad. I see that she's starting to take a turn because I'm starting to see titty pictures and everything. I don't know what happened to her, but before, when she first came out, she was real militant. You know, she had
Yeah.
He really was.
Yeah, that poetic rapper look.
she was ready for that.
But she
now
was also rapping. She had shit
she
to
was
rap
bar
about.
for
She
bar
had
rap.
bars.
I don't know what's
Yeah.
going on with her now. I done seen her titties and everything. I'm like, what's going on?
I don't think you're
Hey, look,
disappointed.
maybe she's single. Who knows? I don't
I
know.
don't think you're disappointed.
No,
I'm not upset
not
about
by
it.
far. Absolutely not.
Not upset about
I'm not man. I've seen him a few times.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. With artists like that, what they would do is leave you with something for the imagination.
Right.
Right.
Lauren Hill, the best
We didn't have to see Lauren Hill naked,
didn't have to
bro,
see
but
Lauryn
we
Hill
used to think
was
Lauren Hill was fire, bro. We thought she was hot. You know what I'm saying? But we never saw her naked. So of course, you know, at least some men, hopefully, we'll sit there and think like, damn, I bet she fine as hell without clothes on. You know what I'm saying?
And it also got to do with the team they behind. That's
That
one thing
too.
I do want to stress is sometimes it could be that team that's pushing these people to become something that they don't want to be.
Yeah, there was
sometimes-
a episode. I used to watch Love and Hip Hop Atlanta with my wife or whatever, and one of the girls, the black Latino girl that always wear the afro, it was one episode where she was trying to get into the music industry or she was trying to get more out there, and the producer told her like, "I love your music, I love this, but you got her image was her fro." He told her you got to get rid of the hair.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Not letting her be her. You know, and I don't know what happened after that because we stopped watching it because them shows are pretty ratchet. But
right.
I just felt bad because, you know, this was her. This is how she made it so far. And you got somebody to tell you, like you said, depending on your team,
Yeah.
you got somebody to tell me, well, this ain't going to work for us. And this is what you got to do if you want to make it. It's kind of like selling your soul, right?
It really is.
Well, and that's the things we used to hear about back in the day, right? We used to hear stories about in order for you to be a part, and once again, these are stories. We don't know them to be true, but in order to be a part of Rockefeller, you had to be a part of the Illuminati, right? Which means you got to sell your soul. Jay-Z owns you. You can't do nothing unless he says, you know, if you sneeze without his permission, you done, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, it is about your team, but a lot of times it's up to you to do that homework. And you also have to, you gotta make that decision. How bad do you want it? 1, 2, and how far are you willing to go?
Now, to play the devil's advocate on that. What happened?
Go ahead.
I was about to say to play the devil's advocate on that. You could find yourself in a situation where you felt you did the research, and then once you get in it, the truth come out. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I could sit here today. I knew a lot about Diddy, but I ain't know a lot about Diddy. So
man, they've been telling us for years about that man.
You can imagine being in a situation, right, where you know this is something life-changing. You got somebody that's telling you they're about to change your life. You ain't got a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of. Of course, you're gonna be like, I need to do what I gotta do to get this money. And then, you know,
here's the question once again. How far are you willing to go?
I asked that last time.
Because you got a lot of people. You got a lot of people who's like, yo, I do whatever it takes. They get in, I was like, I'm not doing that shit though.
I mean, and
you sign right here. I didn't sign that though.
But now in these days, we have too many examples of, hey, Tony, what's happening? Of too many examples of people making it independently, right? They didn't have to sell themselves. They had to, they had to just grind and get to where they need to be. And some of the examples, like Master P, I respect him the most because anybody he had on his record label,
they saw something.
either he took care of them and he
Mhm.
let them do their own thing their own way. And
Absolutely.
then on top of that, he told them how to make money in other businesses. He's like one of the first rappers next, kind of like next to Jay-Z, who took rap and turned it into an empire. And what I mean by it is, whatever his other, like buying a team and
Oh yeah,
real estate and all that stuff, that, and he was the one that kind of started that. Soldier Boy was the one that started this whole 'cause
internet.
don't nobody give him respect, the internet thing. I'm
They
sorry
need to
that
give him respect.
they don't give respect at all.
I'll put it like this.
What's up, man?
That's one thing. That's one thing that happened in the culture that turned the curve.
Turn
Was
it.
when
He's the reason, and
he's
nobody
the
want to hear
reason.
that.
I think, and that's one thing because you remember back, and everybody know this. Back in the days when you wanted to get into music, you had to make a demo. You had to sell this demo out the trunk of your car, and then hope to God it fell into the hands of somebody that knew something, or you just sent it to these random radio stations and hope they play it. Soldier Boy showed you that you can make a song on this here thing called the internet, put it out there, and just let it do its own thing.
Not only that, psych you with the title
Bruh.
of saying that this is Drake's new song or somebody's new song, and it'd be him doing the Superman dance.
Bro, that's crazy.
And then not only did he do that, but then they made the music video.
Yeah,
knowing exactly what he did. Was like, hey, you see this
off of Jermaine Dupri looking for this man. That's crazy, bro. I will give him flowers for that because that turned the entertainment on his back. It really did because at one point you was doing all this stuff in your own neighborhood. He made it like you could do it on the internet and just still get better results. And to this day, I think that's what the youngins going for, bro. They ain't got to do all that selling shit out the trunk.
Wait, okay, so I want to touch on Abe's comment, but in a different way. He's talking about Rhapsody, which is an amazing female artist. She is fire.
Very fire. Right? Very fire.
And you're right, she'll never blow up because kids don't like hearing actual lyrical content because, they're used to the mumble rapping.
Same thing that Nate said. Same thing.
Yeah. And you're right, Nate. It was about bars and lyrics, but now it's about something else. Okay, so I have always been into music that I knew was going to end up on the radio. I wasn't always I love some underground, but I wasn't like one of those people's like, yo, I want to hear the underground stuff. Right? I would listen to their CD and like, yo, I bet you this song be on the radio. Mm-hmm. I used to make CDs off of it in high school, and 9 times out of 10, I was right. Right? I would pick the song from the CD that I knew was going to be on the radio, and it ended up being on.
Yep, top one. He had a CD with just #1 hits before those made it to the radio station to be #1 hits.
That was
a true story.
That was always my ear for music. So I'm going to turn this around to recent content for the Kendrick Lamar and Drake.
There you go.
Right? I don't hate Kendrick Lamar. I like Kendrick Lamar, but I like Drake's music better. And here's why. I like music that's ready to be put on the radio. I like music that's a bop. I like music that I can chill to, listen, blast in my car, and not always feel like I'm in a class or in a lecture or feeling like I need to either be like, yo, I need to go start a movement tonight, or I'm not black enough. Like, that's kind of how I look at it sometimes. But on the flip side, I love Poetic Justice. Mm-hmm. I love ADHD. If you know Kendrick Lamar, you'll know these songs, right? Yes, Drake is a thief, but here's the thing, Amber. Everybody is. I guarantee you, I could go back. Well, I don't have that type of time like these internet people do, but I guarantee you, if you go back and you cut up some of these lyrics that people say, it's lines from everybody's music. Nobody's authentic anymore. That's the other problem. Same thing with movies, right? We can't get new movies.
What up, dog?
Why are we still making bad boys? Why are we still making the Bad Boys, bro? Why do we have to go 15 years without a Ghostbusters to bring a Ghostbusters back that has the same plot, same story?
I'm gonna tell you why. I got the answer.
People don't have
answer.
Content no more.
No,
bro.
I got
creative mindsets no more.
Let me tell you. I agree, but I disagree. Only reason I say that is because I feel like they're scared to put something out new. They would rather put something out that they're getting money on, period, other than go somewhere else and fail at it. And I've seen this with a lot of concepts, a lot of movies.
I agree.
You got a lot of movies that came out, and I mean, bombed at movie theaters because it was different. It was something that people was like, oh, I don't like the way they went. I don't like the turn or the twist or blah, 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 blah. So everybody, well,
I
I
like
just make
Ooga
another-
Booga.
So I just make,
Yeah, Ooga Booga's
yeah,
fire,
it was terrible. It was a terrible movie. But then you can go back to Chucky and you're gonna get a check. Now Oogie Boogie.
Let's put
Yeah,
an
man,
example,
y'all
though.
give Ooga Booga some credit now.
Ooga Booga was terrible. For those who don't know, it's a movie on Tubi with an African doll named Ooga Booga, and it's terrible. Just Jesus God, don't please.
Hey, what did he say when he
trash.
before he died?
Bro.
What did
Me
What do
and
you say when
Mo
you
had a
pop on?
conversation, and I went and watched it the next day, bro. And I came back, reported to Mo as a soldier, and told him this is blasphemy. My eyeballs fell out of my face.
But dude, it's one of those things where you knew it was gonna be stupid, but you
It
had
was
to
dumb.
watch it.
It was dumb. But back on the topic. Back on the topic. People are scared to take risks because it's a lot on the line. They would rather do something that's similar to something that gave them money.
Go ahead, Doug.
No, you're right.
Turn red over there, man. Shit. But look,
Hey, listen.
blended in with his
Mark
t-shirt.
is completely right, bro. People are scared to put out their
They're
own
scared,
shit.
but you got to look at the time.
Nah,
that
I
we're
bet
in now.
you Ooga Booga hit the numbers though. I don't care what y'all say.
Like prime
Ooga Booga's not
example.
hitting numbers.
Prime example. I'll put on my life. If White Chicks came out today, it would not make it. It would have been banned. It wouldn't have got that far. It wouldn't have got the movie theater.
Oh man, there's so much stuff you can say about
But
that
that's
now.
my point. My thing
What's the song? What's it
Which one?
with Plies and Jamie Foxx? Y'all know what I'm talking
What
about?
is that song? Okay.
Baby, please excuse my hands. You can't come out with nothing like that right now.
You can't put nothing out like that. You can't. The Whisper song from Ying Yang Twins.
Yeah.
You can't put nothing out like that. Like nowadays, it's scary because you can get crucified and you can lose your career for trying
You
to
see LV, dog? You see LV, dog? You can't sleep on Ooga Booga, dog.
LV, go back to school, man. This nigga, he don't know what he's talking about. He probably over there in the corduroys in Las Vegas, losing his money.
He in Florida.
Florida, there you go.
Hey,
You got a Florida.
if you wear corduroys in Florida, he's sweating
He's sweating.
death
Yeah,
right
he's
now.
sweating.
That man's melting.
But that's my whole thing, though. Like, they would probably rather do something that's similar to something else. Now, when it comes to Drake, like, it's okay to say something that the big guy said, but when he go to the underground and be taking their stuff, that's when it changes stuff, man. That's when it come borderline. Like, come on, don't do that, man. Like, it's fucked up, man. It's okay to say things that other big artists have said. Probably a little portion. He takes complete verses, a whole verse from a song to be something you heard on another song. He'd be like, "Oh, Drake, that ain't cool. That's not fair."
But here's the thing. That means he is not ghostwriters. He's just out here snatching.
He's just snatching them. And I hate to say it because Jay-Z guilty of it too, but it was a lot of Biggie stuff. But he wasn't saying the whole thing verbatim. He would just say a quote from here or here from Biggie. So you got a lot of people that will pay homage in a way when they're in their rap songs. But I mean, what I saw, it's a 17-minute video out there with Drake just literally just taking everything. And I'm like, what? You don't have to do this. You're already that guy. Like, you're that guy. Like, I don't understand.
But you know what, though? I also feel like, just like we were talking about, when you become famous, right? You feel like you've done everything. Now the normal shit is extravagant, right?
Okay.
I mean, I'm sorry, let me say that backwards. Now the extravagant is normal, right? So now he's like, I don't know what else to do. I'll go back and listen to some more shit and say it's mine.
Well, don't go stealing. Okay. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, so you see right here with the polls. Do you think the culture's moving in the right direction? 38%, I believe so, but everybody kind of just want to stay in their own lane.
Well, here's the thing, man. I blame I want to stay in my own lane.
I blame
on the fact of today's society, bro. You don't know what you can do or what you can't do without being crucified. Yeah. The jokes that we tell each other and the crap we talk to each other, if it was heard out in public, we would be crucified.
Yeah,
right. We would be. This whole thing would be over.
The names that we call each other behind,
it gets dark.
It gets bad. Even though we all know it's jokes and we don't take offense, somebody would hear it and be like, you know what, that's insensitive, and I think this should be burned.
Oh, it'd be a whole movement. They'll have all
Yeah, it'd
types
be
of
a
stuff
whole
here
movement.
fast. Look at that.
Now,
So
there's one thing
it's
too.
safer to stay in your own lane instead of trying to figure it out because you don't want to figure it out the hard way.
Because look
So
at
I'm gonna
Beyonce. She been in her own lane for a long time. She did a country album, and they went crazy. They're just like, "Oh, you can't do this," and it's like, "Wait, what?"
And she's still killing it though.
Like they lost
because
their mind.
because they still listening to it. Alex be
Bro.
listening to it. I'm like,
bro.
all right.
You
I'm
get
going
into
to
another
share
lane,
with
bro.
you. I'm going to share with the audience. Okay? Not on here, but on our Facebook page, and I want you to go and look at it.
What?
It was a meme. I probably laughed way too hard and cried way too hard when they were talking about Beyonce's music. And it said it's a meme, and it says when black people are trying to find Beyonce's music on the country station, and it's an episode of Boondocks. Well, this country singer is just going completely in on black people. It's like, this is what they're trying to, when they're trying to find Beyonce, this is what they find. And I'm like, yo, why? I feel like it's accurate, but I don't, because I don't listen to country music. I don't know anything about country music. There's one song, and it's a chick that sings it, and she talks about tearing this dude's car up. And the only reason I like it was like, I shoot the shit out that motherfucker. I swear to God.
Mean, it has its own thing. Like, you know, when it comes to country music, I listen to everything. You know, like you got
I'm a Ralph.
my
I'll
boy,
listen to everything.
what's his name? Man in Black. What's his guy's name?
Tommy, whatever.
Crazy
Tommy Lee Jones.
Huh?
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee.
Not Tommy Lee Jones, but the other guy. You know, I hurt myself today. Him, man. Man, that dude, I hurt myself today. I don't know his name. I swear to God, I remember. Johnny Cash. There you go. I listen to, Johnny Cash got some music where you just
okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah, Johnny Cash, you know what I'm saying? Wait, you got a few people up there. Willie
the
Nelson.
Only thing I know from Johnny Cash is, and it burns.
see why we can't talk normal on here? Because we all got the same mindset right now.
It ain't about Raging Fire, bro.
I'm gonna tell you something behind the scenes. Why that's the only song he knows.
We would
say this whenever and it's a dark joke. It's not STDs is not funny. But when somebody would have something going on with something else, we would literally say, and it burns.
Like Raging Fire.
But I digress. What I'm basically saying is there's some good
music into a Raging Fire.
There's good music in every genre to me.
I gotta break this up.
I'm glad you broke that up. That was bad. I'm not laughing. It's not funny anymore. It's not fun.
Make sure you do that.
Go ahead, Mark. Finish your thought, though.
But what I'm saying is this, okay? It's the good music in every genre, okay? It's just I don't think we should stay in our own lane because and I'm not trying to sound like anything bad. No one else is. Just like we just had a comment. Hip hop has branched off across countries. You got Spanish rappers, you got Chinese rappers, Asian rappers, you got all these rappers. So why would we, if we started something so big that everyone else can join in, we can't have a rock album, we can't have a country song, we can't
No. There's plenty of black country artists too.
It is.
There's one dude you'll look at, you like, okay, he about to spit, and he gets to sing like, that is not what I was expecting.
Have y'all ever tried to listen to any of that heavy metal, death metal music?
Absolutely.
I did. I do. I got a lot of stuff. Rammstein, System of a Down.
Here's the thing. I listen to heavy metal before I listen to country.
Metallica. Now, I don't like blues. I get a little down when I hear the blues.
Sounds crazy.
Blues. I didn't say I didn't like it, but when I hear the blues, I'll be like, damn, I really feel like I
jump off this building right now. I mean, all I'm saying is on blues, They always either lose their woman, their car, their truck, their dog, they lose everything.
Dude, you should have
I
just said just the
everything.
first part.
I
You just
can't. I
said the
can't
first
relate.
part.
I
When it
can't
comes
relate.
to blues, they always lose.
That's
Then
true.
we would've got it.
And people like, I was like, oh, I love the blues. I'm like, so you're depressed. Just say you're depressed. It's okay.
So,
We can get you help.
so I will say the guy that's on here, Nathan Farr, he's my godfather, and he is a musician, so he understands all of what we're saying.
Okay.
So that's I knew we were going to touch on the subjects. One of the reasons why I invited him in. It's also a pastor too.
Oh, it's
So
good to see you, man. Real good to
yeah,
see you.
Hey,
Yeah.
and a long time barber. He was my barber for a long time.
Oh, good to
He
have you there,
retired.
man. That's fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I
Retired,
mean,
enjoying life.
I know one thing though. Nowadays, don't nobody give a shit, but they give a shit. Like that's one thing I'm starting to learn. Don't nobody give a shit, but they give a shit. Like I've seen stuff on YouTube where I'm like, this is a real video where I'm talking about they like literally digging up dead people. And I'm like, this is crazy. They're making rap
Bro.
songs about people that was shot by them in the streets. And it's just it's kind of scary because it's like this is what we doing. And a lot of the old cats would make a comment like, bro, we wasn't doing this. If I was at the club and I saw my op, I just had to show him I had more money with him by just getting more bottles sent to my area. Nowadays, if you at the club and you see your op, that whole club getting shot up. Like everybody
Hey,
Well,
got.
I mean, like I
has
said, then
died.
they're recording it, they putting it online. I saw a video where a dude was pulling up at hospitals and unloading his weapon. He got it on camera at the
Huh?
hospital. Yeah, that happened a couple years ago. He just
Hey,
recorded it and ran
Damn.
Here's the thing
for
though.
fun.
Here's where y'all are wrong about some of it. The only difference is now they put it on the internet. We were doing the
Yeah.
same thing back then. There was just no internet. There was no camera phones to capture it.
Yeah,
People
but
will
we still
find
wasn't
out where
stupid
people would
enough.
be,
If
shoot up
we
the
doing
spot and keep
something,
moving.
we're not stupid enough to show everybody, our friends maybe that we trust, but we're not stupid enough to publicly put it
Here's
out
the
there.
thing. I don't want nobody to record nothing. If I'm doing something crazy and sketchy, I don't care if you my right hand man. You need to make sure don't nobody else got a camera.
Yeah.
Not saying that's the way that's what happens. I'm just saying that if you look at how society is today, bro, it's almost like I said, it's 1 foot in and 1 foot out.
Yeah.
You find criminals at the drop of a dime because somebody got them on camera.
Yeah.
That's
true.
why the police and
awesome.
the FBI, they love social media. They be like, we ain't gotta do that much
You
investigation.
ain't gotta do shit no
I think the FBI was just about to go out of business, and they was like, put a camera on every phone. Gotta save us some time, Johnson.
All right, we got to get going. Now, this is actually a good subject.
This is
even though I
good,
kinda got a
man.
little
You know what I'm
late.
saying? This is good. This is a good little one, man. Hey, thanks everybody for showing up, man. This is a good little one.
Absolutely. And remember, if you're doing some dumb shit, don't record it.
Don't, please,
And
God.
if you get recorded, you're fucked. Anyway, we are still sponsored by Dubby. For those that don't know, 10% off. Drop that in the NEP code in the description where it says promo code. After you check out, you will get 10% off. We are absolutely still sponsored by, I checked the other day, we are still sponsored by Manscaped. We should probably post another thing up here eventually, but we will. Same thing. Drop a net. It gives you 20% off
Sorry, Nathan.
on your order at checkout. Drop that in the promo code.
Good dude.
We are still looking to gather more sponsors, gather more audience. More importantly, is the audience. We like to talk to y'all. We'd like to have y'all around. We like the interaction. We like the engagement, everything. So please, like Moan said, he hit the button, like, follow, subscribe.
Still sponsored by BetterHelp too.
Didn't realize that. Didn't double check on that. Looks like we are still sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp, I mean, if you got some issues, you got some problems, you need to talk it out. Remember, mental health is real. Do not take it as a joke. We joke about a lot of things, but at the end of the day, that is not something to play around with. Quick story, real quick. You don't know what someone's going through until it's too late. There was a gentleman at Carson Coffee that was well known in the car community. Had a 2023 Lamborghini, and he took his own life. So when you think you got it all, doesn't mean that everything is okay. Okay, check on your friends, check your mental health. If you need help, hit up BetterHelp. Drop that code again. And that we're a little bit everywhere, man. We try to help you save money. We're also trying to help you save your life. You know, if you need it, we got it. If you need us, we're here. You know how to reach out to us. Check our Facebook, check our Instagram, check our Twitter, check YouTube. We are here. We have all avenues and ways for us to reach out.
Thank
like
you,
always,
Nate.
we love you guys. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate the new people that pulled up. Nate, man, I miss you, big dog. It's been way too long since I've seen you. But Mel, Vizzle, everybody that pulled up, we appreciate y'all. We will see you on the next episode. Stay tuned. Keep watching. In the meantime,